Hi guys and welcome to your NXT review with a review from last night's episode. So my brief thoughts before we get into the actual clips of the show. I actually thought I actually thought it was a solid episode, although it wasn't as action packed as last week's episode that I gave full marks. I can't really give full marks this week, but it'll still be a decent enough score here. So we will start the night off with obviously the promos for the competitors in the women's fatal forum. Eh, very sort of Saturday night's main event and very sort of 80s presentation. Here you can tell that Shawn Michaels, Triple H and all are all very um are all very are all very keen on nostalgia based content, and this another as I felt was a fun as I thought was a fun sort of spin on hyping up the match. Very very nostalgic feel to the opening of the show and the ending our first match. Rick Williams defends the TNA World title against Josh Riggs. Now I have to actually say Josh Riggs has really impressed me the past the past year and a half. He is very much in the mold of a Hansen type or robot wrestler, but he's got more of the kind of a sports entertainer as of the skill on his year etc. As he comes out with and the Mura um who who is all over the show as we get in. But 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 yeah, actually, I felt that Josh Briggs gave a good account of himself in this match, despite in the Mura actually giving up his a shot X into the why as I felt it was a bit strange, but I really felt as though Josh Briggs took it to Trick Williams here. Very good match. Josh Briggs gets a lot of offense and including the stand hands in Eskimo area that he's adopted and his move set a couple of outs here as well, but the finish of the match sees Josh Briggs from um go from uns go from insult and Trick Williams here and as soon as they goes for it, Trick and he's up and hits the trick, and hits the trick shot and he, and gets the and here after them actually hear say his name and he hears about even Joe Hendry. So out comes Joe Hendry out and attacks Trick Williams and apparently it's already been announced by ENA so in um the I'll be Joe Hendry and Trick Williams in the arena match. So anniversary was originally supposed to be a Ija that gets a shot, but Ija's on the shelf from uh, um as on shelf from an injury. Now this match for the ENA Heavyweight Championship coming up at Salama City can go to is I know it's Salama City commemorates the anniversary of when ENA was actually found. Um, so they might actually want to put the belt on Hendry, or they could maybe opt to keep the belt on Trick for a bit longer. On now, as it's as it's a replacement match, I think it's the second option, because you don't usually get the you don't really get replacements and and then the belt often, especially somebody that's just dropped to the belt. Who obviously chatted that Williams in the scenario, but I'm sure it'll be a good match for those that keep an eye on ENA. I'm not as big an avid watcher of ENA as I used to be, although I've heard it's improved a lot, but in any case, in the back, um, in the back we see the UCC and discussion and Charlie, say actually, Charlie, say actually, he says to Avion Heights, I don't think you're going to be able to compete and then you injured or face in training. Obviously, Charlie did say at this point is beginning to get a bit paranoid that all his members will want to bury away from the UCC. Avion Heights is the succession to my I was on wanting to if I'll touch on my I was on in a bit, but Heights actually says um Heights actually says I still want to take the match on against Javon. So again, um, s- um, so again, Charles, he's becoming a bit paranoid, basically, giveaways becoming a bit controlling, and but we'll get to that channel in a bit because we got all Emma Rossi can mama actually night or Ricky's ain't the Elsie's Ashanti the on this now I shan't you for the good and as he he got a couple of decent bits of offense and he even had his car shout funny armament over he got a very cool was your fault for but eventually the Saints was able to get a hit out by easy kill and hit and hit Sidero or Shambo and over on a shanty to get the woman. And Ashanti is also eating an entire if I rock out on his on his ring here and it takes you to and it takes you to his it takes you to his oh, Jim's it's not really anything storyline really he so yeah, it's more of a real life situation. I don't know what it's about, but good off rim obviously is so and go and check out his channel of on our wrestling communities. Oh. I series episode on his channel. Check him out. He's he'll enjoyable. Um, obviously after all you you see the Titantron. He played the card of Ethan Age who who again shall who again actually then at Ricky's after all the match it's he was edge on him and yeah that's the end of the segment um and the slowly and of you you, you see you see Age and Ava getting a confrontation as usual, but we'll get back to that when we are on. Um, and then um, and then and then and you get uh, higher eyes and curriculum Williams in the back having a conversation. Things get heated for us in the back. Um, things get heated for us in the back. Curriculum is all right. Go here, early. Correct, was all right. Go here, Maria last week. So he obviously is actually then responds um and he oh he highlights He's what obviously he then tricked her eyes to refuse a tray. Soon um, he says if I rise, either my business is for only all you guys if ever also it seems for next to eat eat that Joe Hendry on takes on so he um so yeah so on the next match of the evening and it sees Evian Heights and Echo on Java on Evans. Now Javon Evans Java on Evans here is on the back foot for a bit and as actually he hates so incredible although you've seen him in the past in Raw Wrestling and Pro Wrestling War because WWE have arrangements with War have similar sort of outings obviously um obviously obviously Avion around Java on for the majority of this match Avon us however hit a few high line moves over the top but um Avion Heights catches um catches Evans and Dragon Soul. He and Dragon Soul. He or Evans manages to launch out of that and hits a ox a ox Skidder's ash and gets a three in the middle of all of that. Look, eyes you see say another inside here in conversation on the outside and um so it kind of distracts heights and allows and allows Evans to hit a pretty good Ox well Ash. So again Heights is unable to leave the UCC. So in the back obviously if throughout the night you see as they aim to try convinced Ethan Park so and Ethan Park so about joining the kill and this has become a kill a thing. When you find out that Emil, if I find out that Park so he joins her for the main event, although we'll get back to the main event in due lost, but again, this is becoming a strong hotbed, obviously, as he presents her with a new all, and as he all the kind of show for friendships, Ulrika and Arya trying and Spark so if throughout the night that again she's just using her. So yeah, the Paxel, and he also gets introduced um to um Sean's years and obviously in over and obviously as he then asks the other if they've got anything but like um if they've got anything but like one they says um they said that they have don't worry about it, so yeah, that's all that you can hear of the third uh, and the third match of the night is the Heritage Cup at but in and but in the accent Tony D'Angelo. Oh, but before we get into that, we've got a segment with Obafemi and 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 he um and he challenges anybody from anybody from Raw on SmackDown and NXT because he said as he's eaten all he's beaten all top talent in that he's faced so far on either and out comes Anamura Anamura explains that he said to Josh or that he's ready to challenge over Femi um for the next championship but last 2 weeks. So this is a continuation of that. What Freddie said to me when he went back to Japan, he missed Josh or the eggs. He missed the NXT and passion, but he missed his opportunity to challenge for the NXT championship, and he says he's ready to step up over for Emmy. Um, out comes Jasper Troy, who have got the mention attack Jiver on Evans after his match with um his match with Heights, but again he comes out and attacks and and him and may have another confrontation, and I think that'll be his up for the give or rate him American Bash was probably the second night of that offering. But yeah, there you go. I don't think the people threading the is resolved to get between Obafemi and Jasper or Troy. Jasper Troy as though can preserve his finishing move as the black hole, so you can tell that you can tell that a bit as or as Harps has had an influence on this guy. He was also part of Booker E's LFG LF LFG um LFG so yeah. Right off the bat, you can tell that this guy's got potential, and as I've just said, the attack just for Von Evans here on by hitting the black hole, so and him is more like a to ram type of the hit and the mural. So yeah, so it doesn't look as though Anamura will be getting his shot in the Great American Bash. No, yes, it's made a triple threat match. It will be interesting to see that, mind the. But yeah. Moving on, so we get our third match of the evening. Channing Stacks Lorenzo versus only D'Angelo, the it heritage up and obviously um and obviously no one argued injured during the weekend, and it was revealed and that the Heritage Cup would be held up, so you get a traditional rounds match again. So you get a additional rounds match again for the Heritage Cup, and obviously the intent here is for our challenge so Lorenzo to like injure the knee. Obviously his body arm or yeah or obs chop of the knee obviously to get stuck, but I can in the match because D'Angelo took the first um the D'Angelo took the first all by hitting an explosive yard. He ends up burrowing up Tony D'Angelo gets the equalizer, then goes into the deciding fall. We get more interference from Stax's heavies. Outcomes outcomes okay, Safino here outcomes okay, Safino here to try and help Tony D'Angelo. It ekes out some of the it ekes out some of the heavies, but then he picks up the training up and he hits D'Angelo in the back of the head to me. He can easy pickings for acts to become the new heritage each up champion. Obviously, obviously, um, obviously it puts more or heat on the potential Usafino signing of um acts of potential is D'Angelo and hits or Usafino. I think I think he did try and help to win here, but D'Angelo didn't see it that way. And I think eventually, that will happen. You still haven't seen Jordyane as of for a while, so maybe she's also in Channing Stats or Angel's camp, you never know. In the back of it, you see I was on chatting to NFL players. I think they're the Fallow or the Gators. I don't know a lot about American football, so we'll up to do. So then you get so then so then you get a confrontation between I was born and oh, it's just and it sets up a match for next week, and I think it would be a pretty entertaining match. Here, you obviously you, you obviously get um you, you obviously get the same thing happening for yeah, Hugh and um, yeah, Hugh and in the here they'll be going they'll be going in a match. I think that'll be an interesting match as in the as an exceptional wrestler. I should give a good account of herself against Jacy in Jacy in and the title match in the title match she had um and obviously and obviously that's on the match for the on the Great American Bash off and so so and we get to the arcs each segment now arcs and now the arcs eight Ed have you for us because you'll be coming back as soon as you is to expect it because more you also have got have got a next one cooked up and ready to be put in action. Now obviously I like the action, but I think sometimes you should be booked a bit better. Or, to be honest, I think they will have potential, and it's been a while since we've seen the one in both of the arcs. Yeah, but uh, in any case, it's an interesting um, oh, in the back, you see Jacy, Jayne, and Faith, oh, influence of Romo for the main event. Before the main event, Jayne actually said she's going to remain NXT champion forever, and it was her goal to be and on the evolution card, as she said to that herself during the first ever evolution of WWE ever did a second time, and it was her goal to be on the card. Obviously the Alpha Owl has a bit to say on has a bit to say and has a bit to say and has a bit to say in each and their OAKM Ryan A obviously yeah halfway to influence put after the table last week she said you thought you were going to get an easy ride well we had to influence put you down and this is a vision and you run things around um you run things around here so yeah so that was a pretty good promo fatal influence or good or us and so that kinda and that kinda sets up nice for the main event, although you see the confrontation that Eva uh, um Eva and each actually have um actually have out in the hall and man at this point Eva's like right you there Ricky you saints have to sort out your differences even age I can't have you with well used to each other every week and of so and obviously age said okay okay it'll get sorted on here and other she said oh I know it well next to you will be summoned you two will be you two will be summoned from our office so 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 then if I get if I get knowledge of an attack of an attack that took place of his ankle own injured we you don't know who attacked him but my guess um what my guess is it would be if with Ans and of Anson Sean's years attack Hank and Hank obviously we need to get on for me Obviously we need to get confirmation and the final and the final part of the night is obviously the fatal four of Izzy, Jada Parker, Jordan Grace, and obviously with and obviously with Ashton Edge, Jin, and a fatal four a match to determine the number one contender for the Games Championship. So again, all four got some good offense and so, Chara, obviously he packs so obviously packs when he gets involved assist as he obviously so and the area amount remove packs so if impact so if he um around situation Jada Parker takes advantage of the distracted or Ashel agent and gets rid of her and then obviously and then obviously Jordan carries the axe up Parker in the orchard uh, um, um, and the orchard right home and gets a bit Harry Orton Grace um didn't get a good reaction at all. The crowd is just silent, and I think it's got something to do with the new theme song that Rebel and America He'd order, but Jordan didn't get any sort of reaction. It was very still. Everybody else got reactions and intrigue, but Jordan, it just seems, it just seems the fans and don't have a shot. And to be honest, if a theme song as generic as that, who can blame them? It's not Jordan's fault, but um, obviously it's not going to help the fans get on board and offer sympathy for Jordan and she loses and up high on the up high in the balcony you see the oh fulfilling and for obviously the balcony you see the oh influence for and out the and Jacy Jayne's match evolution of the solid you see it's Jordan that's on the match and it is the very first match in front for a revolution. I think JC will end up eating a race here. I don't think Jordan Gill is will be JC Jane particularly if the story they are trying to tell with if Ryan A and JC Jane so yeah uh, and so yeah just come back quickly before I forget, you do get a Chase segment and Chase um Chase you basically the follow what is pretty similar from what I do obviously obviously on Jerry Chase says the rest that was everybody chasing it's the often the hell try Raya on Austin killed action exception and he said that was the attitude that Jacy was out on, but it's also the attitude that the steroids semi and the two actually walk away and discuss and she's actually looks a bit next here some will get some will get a heel chase you at some point. I'm not sure how that's going to go, but I think that's the best. I think that's the best approach here because if they don't heal, I think this incarnation of Jesu will fall on its arse because as I don't think it is popular as when Duke Hudson and yeah, heal apart a Jesse and that's been so long ago now that Sin has actually been released by the entire company. So yeah, so that should maybe give you an indication of a heel obviously you get a foul. Obviously you get a foul. Ashby I can this segment of Uriah on us and killed action actually offered to his advice open up Jacy rig and then that's what ends that segment. So overall guys a very character development in his episode and the matches but are okay. They serve a purpose. It's not as good an episode as it was as it was previously. But I enjoyed it so an 8 out of a possible end for this on this show. You didn't see you didn't see oh, 8 in a row was killed this episode. I expect I expect the I expect a segment that the Americans get. You got a wee bit extra, and I think that's what that was over in the UK. You just see the fans and the performance and putting a bit of music over the top of it, so we don't know what the segments actually are that take is during but in the case of regular NXT, you didn't see any another or on as also I hope she's so I hope she's just so I hope she's just themselves in the X of the Abels. Oh, and hopefully it's nothing major, but yeah, exactly. Is there NXT episode to Jordan get or race as the number one contender for the NXT Women's Championship evolution or like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you all very soon.